All right, guys, and welcome to your stretching session with Dr. Mark. We're going to be doing a back stretcher, which is S-T-R-E-T-C-H-A. Now, we are going to be holding these stretches for 90 seconds. I'll explain to you why we're doing that in a second, but we're going to be starting with our hamstring stretch. So we can have one leg in, one leg out, or you can do both at the same time, doesn't matter. So we're going to stretch down. You want to feel that gentle pull. As the 90 seconds goes on, see if you can get deeper into the stretch. Now, this is the first session we are filming for this stretcher series. The reason we are doing the 90 seconds is because you want to allow the fascia, which is the covering of the muscle, to actually stretch as well. Normally, when you do your static stretching, you go, let's say 30 seconds, but I know a lot of times, especially as a physical therapist, that's like 6 seconds. So you want to make sure you're getting deep enough stretch and holding it. The 90 seconds is actually the lower end. You can do these up to 3 minutes each, probably even a little bit longer if you wanted to, depending on how you feel, to get that fascia to stretch. Now, if you think of your fascia, you have like your orange, and then the white stuff on top of the orange, when you peel it, that's like the fascia. The fascia goes through all of your body. So if you're having some muscle pain, and you're stretching and you're working out and it's still really tight, it could be because you have fascial restrictions in the body. So how do you stretch that? By holding the stretch for longer. So this is what we're going to be doing today, because I know anybody can show you a 30-second stretch. So I'm going to keep you on time with the stretches. Now, if you're doing the hamstring stretch here, toes back, really engaging those muscles, and then we're starting to lean in. When we do transition, it'll be a slow transition to the next exercise or side. All right, so we are switching to the other side. So we're coming in and then stretching deeper. Now again, if you do want to have this leg out like this and do it like that, that's okay. The main thing I want to get across to you is we're holding it for 90 seconds. I know that might seem like a long time. I get it. But once you understand the benefit of the prolonged stretch, you're really going to want to do this. And it's actually more fun to do it when someone's doing it with you like this than just doing it by yourself. Again, today's stretches are all for the back. Now, you'll get some carryover to different muscles, but this is what we're kind of targeting, loosening up that back. If you have tight hamstrings, it's going to be pulling on the back, right? So you want to loosen them up. We got about 45 seconds. Now again, if you want to listen to some classical music while you're doing this, you can. Some rock music, whatever you want, whatever you like. I'm actually going to put some music in the background. So I'll be talking, but you'll hear some nice music. And again, as you go through the stretch, you're trying to go deeper. We got 10 seconds. And hopefully at the end of this, me and Coach Megan will be about 3 inches taller. All right, we're going to go to our glute med stretch or our pullover stretch, so you'll see the models go into their positions. Okay, now here's the big thing with this. We're going to one side. I'm going to come over here to Coach Megan. So she's pulling this over this way. Her arm is extended out this way, and she's going to be looking to the opposite side. So she's pulling this down. You should feel that in your glute and kind of your butt muscle over there. If you don't feel it, it's probably because you're rotated too far this way, right? It's probably you can't get a good stretch, so you want to make sure your hip is back. Now, the reason that Coach Megan felt that is because as I moved her there, she kept holding on, so it actually pulled a deeper stretch. However, what I'm talking about is, say she's over here and this goes down, and she's just laying this way. Right? There's really no stretch because you're too lean this way. So you want to keep your hips back when you do this one, and there you go. She's grabbing on top of the knee and then pulling down. So we got 35 seconds. Now, just so you know, as a physical therapist, I see a lot of patients, or when I was a full-time physical therapist, I saw a lot of patients chronic back pain. These are the stretchers I would give almost everybody, because in today's society, myself included, we don't stretch enough. So this is why this is a really good series to just take you through the exercises that I would give you. And you don't have to give me a copay. We got 5 seconds. And if you stole this account from somebody else, you don't have to give me any money. You just got this. All right, here we go. We go to the other side. So we're doing our glute med stretch coming to the other side. Okay, so you can grab your garment if you need to as well. There you go. Looking good. So focus on that breathing. You can take a deep breath in and out. I assume this would be a great thing to do after your Inferno class, after a body by Bach. If it's the morning and you're just really stiff, maybe you ate bad, maybe you worked out too hard, pull up this course, do the stretches. This will be about 15 minutes, give or take. We got 40 seconds. Now, I'm pretty sure this is one of the first times my models have done stretching for this long. So what are we feeling, Coach Megan?
It feels good.
It feels good. Very deep thoughts from Coach Megan to my left. And Miss Kristen?
I can feel it.
I can feel it. Now you can see I did not choose my fitness models based on knowledge of the English language and thought and feelings. I picked them on reliability. No, they're great most of the time. On camera. Here we go. We got 5 seconds. We got 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to see Miss Megan has a figure 4 stretch. She's going to go into a pigeon. So she'll be doing that for 1 minute. Miss Kristen's going to come into a figure 4 like this. Now I'm going to give you a couple options. I'm going to come on this side over here. She can just cross it like this. That's stage 1. So stage 2 would be that she's going to take her hand and then push this back. So she's going to push that back just like this. Now, if you want to go into the third stage is going to be, she's going to take her band and wrap it around the planted leg. So she's going to come over here, wrap this around this way. Now she's going to start to hold this. This could be a yoga strap, anything you want. She's going to bring her knee up to her this way. There we go. And now she can get a deeper stretch. So she's using the yoga band or the resistant band to give her a enhanced stretch. Remember, when you stretch, you can have props, or as Miss Kristen calls them, toys. I'll leave that alone. So here we go. We got 30 seconds. Now you are breathing. Now you can see Coach Megan over here. Let's see how her leg is. Can Miss Megan come up a little bit? Okay, she can't come up. She's stuck. Now let me give you a little bit of tip. See how she's coming straight over here? She can bring her head over to the side over here. Right? So you have your pigeon, but you're adding some different components to it. She could also come back up and bring her head over here. Right, so see how she's moving it? Now, I know I told you that I want you to hold it for 30 seconds. But as you kind of play with it, 90 seconds. As you play with it a little bit, I'm just showing you what different things you can do. Maybe you want to do a minute on each way of the pigeon, right? So you have straight up, to the right, and then to the left. All right, so we're going to go to our figure 4, our pigeon on the other side. Miss Megan's going to her pigeon. I'm going to help Miss Kristen. Now, there's her band. She's putting it around the planted leg, and she's going to bring the other one right in the figure 4. There we go. She's got it. She's perfect. It's like she learned that right away, and we didn't stop filming. I always give you some insider information. Again, see, now look what she's doing. She's already learning. So she's pulling this up while pushing the other one back, right? Getting her dualities. That's great. I'm a good teacher with an A.
Very good.
She was not paid to say that. That was on her own volition. Is volition a word?
Yes.
See that? My degree is in English, but I know English. Here we go. We got 40 seconds. 40 seconds. And you can see how, well, you couldn't see because Miss Megan blocked it with her red hair, but she's moving her foot up a little bit, right? Because when you're in your pigeon, over here, if it's too far this way, you don't feel it, but you want it here, right? So when I come down, I'm in. Now, if you are getting back pain or you're stiff, these are the exercises I would recommend. We got about 15 seconds. And then we're going into our frog. Here we go, guys. We got 5 seconds. We got 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're going to go into our frog. So we're going to be over here. The inside of our thighs is down. Trying to keep my hips back. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is that when your hip flexors are tight, it pulls on your pelvis, right? So it's going to be pulling on that bone structure. It's going to affect the back. Now, why are most people's hips tight? Because we sit down for work. Cavemen weren't sitting down for work. It wouldn't go that well when the T-Rex came by and they were on their computer, right? So that's why there were no computers in the caveman times, because they got eaten, and the computers got eaten too. So if you have a desk job, your hip flexors most likely tight, pulling on that lower back, combine that with bad posture, and you got back pain. So we're coming over here, we are breathing. We got 45 seconds. Now I think Coach Megan is still alive. I'm not totally sure, but it's fine because that's why we have two models. And just so you know, this is my stretching voice. Here we go, we got 30 seconds. So again, you might be lowering back down as you stretch out. Really breathing. We got 10 seconds. We got 10 seconds now. All right, so we're going to go to our child's pose. So we're going to sit back on our heels, if you can do that. We're going to have our arms either out like this or out like this. We're going to be holding this for 90 seconds. And then I'll show you the variation with Coach Megan. Again, if it's not comfortable being like that, just modify it for you. If there's a stretch you don't like, we can change it, or you can change it. Or you can omit it. Now, as you're doing this for longer, you're trying to walk your hands out a little bit deeper. So we've hit the 30-second mark. So Miss Megan's going to walk her hands to the side, any side she wants, kind of like we do with the pigeon. There we go. So now what's the difference that you feel, Coach Megan? Yeah, so see how it's going to be pulling on the obliques over there? Again, you're stretching out that fascia, right? You want to make sure that you are stretching the muscles, but the covering. Because if the covering is too tight, guess what? The muscle can't stretch, right? It's like when I put on a schmedium shirt, I don't have full range of my arms, and everybody makes fun of me. It's the same thing when your fascia's too tight. So next time I go out and someone makes fun of me, I'm just going to tell them that my fascia's too tight. So we got 15 seconds, so we can watch Miss Megan go to the other side, just so you can see some variations. Now, how you feeling, Miss Kristen? You feeling stretched? Mm-hmm. Here we go. We got 5 seconds. We got 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have our cat and camel, so we're in our tabletop like this. So we're going to round the back, up like that. And then when we dip our hips, we're going to make sure our chest kind of comes through the gates of our arms. Now with this one, I know we're kind of moving, right? We're doing it for 90 seconds, but we do have some dynamic movement with it. That's okay. Because the biggest thing is that any stretch is a good stretch. But I want to give you a different way, and I want to keep you accountable for holding it for that 90 seconds. Now, there will always be some impairments. If you have some like spinal stenosis or disc problems, there might be some movements that you don't like. So you will have to modify it for you. You know your body better than I do. And this is your time, really just setting that intention. You might hear some things crack. Has anything cracked?
Can you not hear it?
I couldn't hear it. No, I put you on mute. So, you know, as the muscles loosen up, especially after a massage or they're loosening up, you'll hear that synovial fluid go through the joint to get that popping, right? I personally like that. I like that feeling. If there's no pain, you should be good to go. But again, think about doing these stretches every day, every other day. It doesn't have to be the full 15 minutes. You could just do this one. You could do the child pose. You could do the hamstring. Just loosen up before work. So this way when you go into work, you know, you can just run in and you're all loose. Okay, we got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, here we go with our last stretch. So we're gonna have what I call a Captain Morgan stretch. So she's putting her foot up like this, and then she's leaning down. And we're gonna see that Miss Kristen's just gonna kind of hang. So she can just hang down like that, thinking good thoughts. She can even go side to side. She can make circles, whatever she wants. She can even fold her hands like she's a genie and go side to side. Little ragdoll pose as well. Now you should see as the time ticks, that sounds like a soap opera. As the time ticks, they'll get lower to the ground because their back is loosening up. We will be doing 90 seconds and then 90 seconds. So when we do switch, we'll have Miss Kristen come up slow and she's going to go back down. So she's getting a double dose of this exercise. But if you are at home, you could do it for 90 seconds or you could hold it for that full 3 minutes. Really kind of focusing on that breathing. Remember, at this stage of the game, if this is the first stretch series you're watching, I just want to make sure that you're getting used to stretching. If there's one thing I've seen as a physical therapist, is a lot of people come see me because they don't stretch. And if they did stretch, we'd never meet, most likely. And I'd feel sad, but they'd feel better. We got 10 seconds. Now hopefully you can see that Coach Megan's clip-on ponytail is lower to the ground right now. Okay, so you're going to come up slow. Now Coach Megan will be switching her leg. I think she's coming on this side. And Miss Kristen's going down for the last 90 seconds. Now you should probably feel that in your hamstrings too over there, right? And don't forget, when you are on the computer all day, you want to take breaks every 30 minutes. Move around, stretch out, drink some water, watch your Body by Marc exercise program. Up to you, really. Now you can see Miss Megan, I think, is falling asleep because you're loosening up, right? Your body's kind of calming down, especially when you're breathing and going for 90 seconds. And the soothing tone of my voice, it all really works together. If this doesn't work out for me, I might just be like a switchboard operator. Do they have operators anymore? They do.
So they're called call centers.
They're call centers. Now, Miss Megan was born in 2012, so she might not know what an operator is. She only knows Google. Here we go. We got 20 seconds. And don't forget, when we finish, we're going to come up slow, and then we'll say our goodbyes. 3, 2, 1. We're going to come up slow. If you need to kind of stretch out, kind of move your body a little bit, you can. Nice job. Get some water, and you finish your stretching series with Dr. Marc and friends.